Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate and a very special episode celebrating Christmas here in Egypt and for the Egyptians all over the world as well. And I'm honored to be having with me on a very special and the blessed occasion is Father Bolos Garas, the parish priest of the Coptic Catholic Church St. Anthony the Great in Fagele, Cairo Governorate. Thank you very much for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Ahmed. I'm glad to be with you again. We've been here 2 years ago.
Yes.
And it was the main celebration. So I'm glad to see you, and I'm glad to be present in the Daily Debate.
Yes, and hoping for a good year full of blessings as well, because it is raining right now.
Oh, it's raining.
It is a good omen.
Yeah. Good.
First of all, as we did see at the beginning of the episode, the presidential gift for the children of Egypt, for the children at the churches. How do you see such an occasion for the children and such a gesture from the president?
It's just fantastic because children are the center. Childhood is the center of the feast.
Yes.
Jesus is born as a child, and every child all over the world, Christian world, has many gifts. So if the president is giving to the children this gift, he's like Baba Noel,
Yes.
who distribute his gifts with. It's a great joy. It's a great gest. It's a sensible gest toward the new generation. Nobody of them will forgive that. Will forget that he has got something special for him from the president. Yeah.
For the children, to be specific, because all of the children in Egypt and all over the Arab world, all over the world, we are celebrating Christmas, whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim.
Yeah.
As a child, you like this occasion. You're waiting for, as you mentioned, Santa Claus to be coming and presents to be coming your way.
Very much related. Christmas is very much related with children. And I remember in one scene of a foreign film, what do you wish? The girls, the little girl says, I wish it's Christmas.
Every day.
Yeah.
The unity that I just said about the Muslims among the Christians with the Muslims, we all celebrate Christmas here in Egypt. How do you see such a day that unites the Egyptians all together within Egypt and outside of it as well?
To tell the truth, it's a new phenomenon. It is not so old. It's we could say it started moving in the last 10 years, and it's growing up in a magnificent way. More and more, we feel united. I personally celebrate Maulid al-Nabi, I celebrate Ramadan,
Yes.
I get invited to Ma'dabat Ramadan, and we are just one people. We are brothers, and we've been living many centuries together. So it's returning to the originals.
To the basics.
To the basics.
Oh.
Yeah, we are brothers. God is one for everybody.
Yes.
And he created us, and we are all brothers. So any other way of thinking is a wrong way. Let me tell you that that's the original thinking of the Bible, of the history, and of our country. We are brothers. Nothing will divide us, will make us fight, because even if we fight, even brothers fight.
Yes.
But even if we fight, we still brothers. And there were times that Christian in Egypt were in crisis. And as a parish priest. Many of people talk to me, we're going to live, we're going to go to Canada, to America. We want to we want to save our children, and it was dangerous.
Especially under the tenure of the terrorist brotherhood organization.
Yeah. It was terrible, and I said, we've never abandoned our country. We will never leave our country. It is our land. We love Egypt because we are Egyptian. Wherever I've been in many different countries. I spent 7 years in Italy, many years in France, in England, in Ireland, in Canada, in America. Everywhere I am a guest. Where I feel home is only in Egypt.
Yes.
So because I'm Egyptian and I'm proud to be Egyptian, and I'm glad to live in Egypt, especially when a president like Sisi is doing his best to make life possible and peace realized in our society.
The attendance of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi for the Christmas Mass every year, and of course speaking with Pope Tawadros and saying that he appreciates him, he loves his wisdom as well. How do you see those words that are repeated year after year from President al-Sisi for Pope Tawadros and for the Mass as well?
Well, Sisi pointed on 3 points.
Yes.
First point is the wish of peace to Egypt and to all the world. The second, his respect, his deep respect to the person of the Holy Pope. The third is a public message. Don't fear, don't be afraid. God will never leave us. ربنا موجود. And it's very important message because many people are in anxiety, are in thinking, are troubling economic crisis and the difficulty of life. So when the president from the church in Christmas, the birth of the King of Peace, he gives peace. Many times in our mass celebration, we turn on the people who say, Assalamu li Islamic salute is Assalamu alaikum.
Peace be upon all of you.
Yeah, so peace is a cardinal point for every human being. No development, no life with war. War is destroy the other. You are trying to destroy me. Peace is you are trying to help me.
I'm trying to build you as well.
To build, yeah.
The
we
wisdom,
build together.
The wisdom that President Sisi mentioned, and he said that about Pope Tawadros II, that the wisdom of Pope Tawadros is of great, of paramount importance for the peace of the country, for the stability of the country as well. Why do you think President Sisi chose the word wisdom to be describing Pope Tawadros II?
He was mentioning the book, the new book of Pope Tawadros, in which he said religions are not fighter one the other, but they are not the same. And as we have in the Quran, وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ لَجَعَلْكُمْ أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً. So we have many religions, and everyone is free to worship God in the way he feels.
Yes.
Okay, even in Christian people, I feel like to go to Orthodox Mass because it's singed all, and for 3-4 hours I'm enjoying it. I feel like to go to Qasr Dubara to make songs with music. I feel go to the Catholic Church for the sermon. So, what you like?
Different ways of celebration
how do
as
you
well.
feel in worshiping? It's good for you. It's not just one way. It's not just one religion. It's not just one vision. God gave us freedom to choose. You've chosen to be there here in the television.
Yes.
Your brother is an engineer. Your sister is a doctor. So
Preference.
preference is
What to be preferring.
yeah.
You've mentioned the sense of unity and the sense of fraternity and patriotism, especially after what we did see in 2012 and 2013 from the terrorist Brotherhood organization. How do you think the sense of patriotism developed for all the Egyptians after the ouster of Mohammed Morsi?
It's absolutely different. It's absolutely different. When I feel someone is caring about me, someone appreciate my person, my situation, and someone who tries to help me, my attitude will be absolutely different. So the Egyptian people, Muslims and Christians, are witness to what the president is trying to do. In many ways, he's doing his best to get life better, and he's a very special regard to the homeless, to the ashwaiyat,
Yes.
to children, to education, to the handicaps. He's trying to be father of this nation. So if you are a good father, you will have good children.
You can feel the difference between 2012 and now.
Yes, very, 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 very strong difference. In before we feel strangers, we feel people who want to send us away, and the Western countries, they said we will receive Christian people. Christian people are Egyptian people.
Yes.
We are not only Christian, we are Egyptian. We are Egyptian before being Christian. So we love our land. We will never leave our land. We will never betray our country. We are part of it, and it is part of us. And as Pope Shenouda said, Egypt is not a country where we live, but a country in
That lives within us.
it lives within us. Yes. وطن يعيش فينا. Yeah.
Of course, as we are celebrating Christmas here in Egypt, I would like to know more, and all of the viewers would like to know more about the teachings of Jesus Christ, because one of the main attributes of Jesus Christ is to be spreading peace, the teachings of love, tolerance, peace itself. How do you see we could be learning from that on such a blessed occasion?
Well, the angels appears to the shepherd singing, "Glory to God in the highest and peace on earth." And the shepherd asked, "What's happening? Today is born for you a Savior, which called Jesus, the Savior.
Yes.
Go towards the mountain and you will find a baby." And they worshipped him. So there is nothing more peaceful, more lovely, more kind than a baby. He's not a fighter, he's not something you fear. A baby is just a sign of love.
But it was a miracle in itself.
Yeah.
For Mother Mary, for
Yes,
Jesus Christ to be speaking.
The birth of Jesus is miracle, known in the Gospel, in the Quran, and in the Torah. There is a prophecy from the prophet Isaiah. Here is God will give you a sign. The Virgin will conceive and give a baby. In the tradition of from Hebrew to Greek, one of the traditor, he said, I can't write virgin give a baby.
Yes.
A woman give a baby. And he saw in a dream, write it virgin, and you will not die until you see with your eyes. So when Jesus' parent brought him to the temple, Simon said, now, O God, take my soul in peace, because my eyes have seen your salvation. So Jesus is the Savior. He came just to make us brothers. And his command is only command, not the 10 commandments of Moses, not any other command. My only command is love each other as much as I have loved you. And nobody could love more than giving himself, and I give myself to you.
How can we be implementing such a commandment of to be loving everyone who is around us and to be forgiving and forgetting everything bad that happened to us from other people?
It's not easy to applicate. It's a wish. Yeah, even at home, you wish that everybody is happy, that everybody loves. But many times
It needs training.
we have to trouble. We have to work hard to get to peace. And I tell you, peace is not a gift. Once I got peace, it's mine. No. Peace is a daily fight. I have to fight every day to keep peace.
Within me and for the people around me.
Because the world wouldn't allow me to live the peace I'm aiming to. So I have to fight every day to confirm my choice of
So it's a daily test
yes,
for me.
It's a daily test, yes.
On the other hand, you've mentioned that you've lived in France, in Europe, in Italy, in other countries, and of course you have witnessed Christmas there. What's the difference between celebrating Christmas in Egypt and celebrating Christmas outside of Egypt?
Really different, because they start celebrating Christmas by the end of November, and you feel everything is growing up, decoration in the streets, the magazines and the streets, everywhere. It's the coming of Christmas. It's growing up until Christmas. It's very different here. But in the last 10 years, as I mentioned, we've noticed in Heliopolis, in Sharm el-Sheikh, I saw the streets as much as Europe. And in many countries.
The decorations in the new cities as well, people are going, and the Egyptians, even Muslims, are going to be taking a picture with the Christmas tree, the big Christmas tree, in different parts of Egypt.
I think we are developing, but it's really different, because the entire society in Europe and in America is celebrating Christmas. There is no different choice. Even Muslims, even the Coptic Egyptian in America, they asked to celebrate, to have a holiday on the 7th.
Yes.
But Christmas is Christmas. It's the 25th of December, and everybody, all the country, everything is celebrating the birth of Christ.
So what can we be, as I mentioned, what can we be doing to be going through the process of fighting oneself against fighting the peace that we want to be getting and the bad things that are happening every day? This fight, how can we be reaching this equilibrium?
This is life. I am hungry. I go to the restaurant. I eat what I like. And since I'm satisfied, I start having hungry, having hunger, okay?
Yes.
So I sleep. Since I wake up, I start needing. So it's a process, as you said. And you have to continue trying every day to get your peace and to conquer it. It's very important to learn how to keep my peace, how to keep myself calm. There is a lot of noise. There is a lot of people who are annoying. There is a lot of people who could
How can I
fighting.
keep my peace with everything that is happening around us nowadays? Because there is social media, bad news on television, the war is going on in Europe. How can I keep my peace
Well,
nowadays?
I said it's a spiritual process. You have to grow up.
It's like levels.
Yes, it's a process, levels. You see, wisdom is not to be troubled like children. So, more and more you acquire wisdom, you get able to reach peace and to keep your peace, and nobody would be able to disturb you. You're secure, you have faith, and if you have faith, you believe that there is someone who is protecting you. As the President Sisi said, God will not leave us alone. We are in a secure hand. So when you get your children in your hands and you cross the road, he's not worrying. He's in the hand of his father. If you cross the sea, if you get to the train, if you get, the importance is the feeling of peace from the Father. He gets his peace from his faith in his Father. So as much you believe in God, as much you are able to keep your peace and to not allow anybody to disturb you.
Yes, Father Bolos will be taking the second report of the daily debate for tonight, which is tourism in Egypt in the times of Christmas, how to be spending Christmas here in Egypt, a very sunny Christmas, if we can call it. We'll be having more details in the upcoming reports, so stay tuned.
If you want something new on Christmas, you have to spend it in Egypt. Christmas in Egypt has a very different spirit and totally different traditions. Christmas not only for Egyptian Christians, but also for Egyptian Muslims, and both have their own traditions. In Egypt, there is about 10% of people are Christians, which makes Christmas feast an important day in the country. Not only for Christians, but also it is important for Muslims as it is in the beginning of the new year in the Gregorian calendar. So Christmas in Egypt is a very important day for celebration and having good vibes. The Orthodox Christians in Egypt start to fast for a period of 43 days, from the 25th of November till the 7th of January, the Christ's day of birth. Their fasting includes mainly vegan meals and excludes any dairy products, meat or chicken. After this long period of fasting, they prepare for a very delicious meal on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve for Christians in Egypt is totally different. They celebrated in the churches by having a special liturgy in the churches all over Egypt at the same time. Christmas is not only for Christians. At Christmas time, you will find all malls and public places have Christmas decorations, especially the Christmas tree for all Egyptians to celebrate. This is because Egyptians, Muslims count the celebration of Christmas as a celebration for the new year based on the Gregorian calendar, which is applied all over the world. You will find lots of brilliant lights everywhere with colors and Christmas trees, which give you the feeling of happiness. Meanwhile, Pope Tawadros II of Alexandria led on Friday the Christmas Mass at the Cathedral of the Nativity of Christ in the new administrative capital with the participation of a number of bishops, priests, and monks. Senior state officials and governors also attended the Mass, along with a number of diplomats, MPs, senators, and public figures. The Pope made his way towards the main altar, processing with hundreds of celebrants as the sounds of Christmas songs echoed inside the cathedral. The Cathedral of the Nativity of Christ is a Coptic Orthodox cathedral in the new administrative capital, Egypt, some 45 kilometers east of Cairo.
Welcome back. You're still watching the daily debate and the very special episode regarding celebrating Christmas here in Egypt. And I'm honored to be having with me over the program for tonight Father Bolos Garas. Father Bolos, of course, Christmas and the feast itself is an end to fasting of about 43 days. This is very important in terms of celebrating Christmas. Yes. So for the people celebrating Christmas, for the Christians, what do you say to them in order to be not eating too much on such a holy occasion, just like we do?
Not only in my parish, we are fasting. We don't eat meat. We don't eat eggs and milk, and but we are not fasting for ourselves. The money you pay for this kind of food, you have to put them apart, and we will put it together, and we will go to a village in Upper Egypt with our gift. This is our fasting. I'm not fasting for myself just to say I'm a hero. I have been walking 14 kilometers.
No. Or to be saving money for myself.
It's not, I said, usually I say, it's not saving money to go to buy new clothes. It's another side. This money of fasting must go to the poor people in our country. And I take the money, I take the clothes and the things they bring in the camion every year, Christmas. And I take a young boy, a young girl, a lady, and a man, and we go to a village in Upper Egypt, in Asyut or Sohag or Minya, and we distribute this with great pleasure, with great witness. It's really so good to prepare the boxes. Many ladies in the hall of the church are preparing, are putting, and everybody is happy.
Spirit of Christmas, the spirit of the feast.
Fasting is not just for myself. It could be good for my health, for my spiritual feeling, but fasting is to feel how the others who cannot buy meat or eat what I could, how they feel. the homeless people, the poor people. So I'm giving the fruit of my fasting to God. Then when I finish fasting, it's not a way of jumping on the plate. Huh?
Yes.
It's how to moderate my food, because fasting is how to moderate myself. So when fasting is end, it's not a sign to get away every moderation.
Yes.
I have to continue moderating myself. I have to think also about poor people who in the feast have no enough money to buy what I have on my table.
So we need self-control, whether fasting or not.
Yes, yes. Fasting is a way of training.
Training yourself.
Training yourself to self-control. I have things, I have power to buy. I have things on the table and I'm not eating.
On the other hand, you mentioned Upper Egypt, the villages of Upper Egypt, and this means that you go there at least yearly, on a yearly basis, once a year.
Twice a year. Yeah.
Twice a year. So how do you see the state of the villages in Upper Egypt? Because we've heard about the initiatives of Haya Karima, a decent life. Do you think that this will be helping Christians and the Egyptians living there in the villages of Upper Egypt in the future?
Last November I was in Luxor. And I visited some village, and I have a photo on a door of a house of Hayat Karima.
Yes.
And I was pleased that I saw what is happening in those abandoned, eternally abandoned village. Now, the hand of our government is doing something for them.
They feel the difference there?
Yes. Truly, I say yes. Yani Luxor, which I see Luxor is a different city. I used to go to receive a different group of Italy, and I used to go with them. Luxor was one street.
Yes.
Now it is a city.
On the Nile.
Yeah,
Yes.
Corniche. And the Corniche is becoming something fantastic.
So we need to be visiting soon as well.
I advise everyone
Especially
to go
nowadays.
to Luxor. Now it's, and the weather, people are freezing outside, but our weather in Egypt, it's a gift of God.
Yes.
It's a gift, a real gift of God. Outside of Egypt, you have to listen to the news before you go out of your house. What's going to happen to you or to your car outside? But in Egypt, we're living, when it rains, it's an event for us.
Yes, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
Yes. Father Bolos Garas, the parish priest of the Coptic Catholic Church, St. Anthony the Great in Fagala, Cairo. Thank you very much for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate.
Merry
Christmas and Happy New Year.
Really, it was a pleasure for me to meet you, and I wish you all the best and Merry Christmas.
To you too. Thank you very much. We will be leaving you, however, with the main activities of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in the past week. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi follows up on the Ministry of Electricity's efforts to provide the electrical supply for the national projects nationwide. He also stresses the need to provide the financial resources needed to provide the supply for the land reclamation projects nationwide. The President gave directives for the Sovereign Fund of Egypt to boost the effort toward leveraging and developing the state-owned properties and the assets so as to maximize the return and preserve the resources of the current and the coming generations. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi follows up on the localization of the fishing vessel industry in Egypt. He discusses the joint efforts with the private sector to localize the construction of the modern yachts. President Sisi gives directives to proceed with the implementation of the developmental strategy of the Suez Canal in order to consolidate the unparalleled position as a waterway on which the world trade movement depends and as one of the supportive factors of the national economy. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi follows up on the current and the future release rates of the goods from the ports nationwide and their exit to their markets. The President directs to expedite the completion of the release of the goods that arrived in the ports. President Sisi follows up on the Giza Zoo development plans. He stresses that the plans for the development of the Giza Zoo should be carried out similarly to the zoos around the world so as to enhance the historical value for the being of it of the world's oldest zoos. President Sisi follows up on the national strategy for the reconstruction of Sinai and stresses that the state's efforts should aim to formulate an advanced and integrated development path and be consistent with the importance and specificity of the unique position of Sinai. President Sisi follows up on the engineering authority projects, and in this context, it was briefed on the developments of the Muqattam region. The 5th of January, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi inspects Doma village in Sohag, inaugurates the Sohag University Hospital, and visits the Sohag University.